Now, in today's podcast, we're going to talk about clarity before change and why you don't have to decide anything yet. So many women reach out at this point in the series and say some version of this. I see things more clearly now, and I feel kind of panicked as a result. So as you're starting to see what's really going on behind the curtain, sometimes that can be scary. So clarity can be grounding and terrifying at the same time. But once you stop gaslighting yourself, questions kind of run in, should I stay? Should I leave? Should I confront this? Should I just accept it? So today's episode is about why you don't need to answer those questions yet, and why trying to make big decisions before clarity settles in often creates more harm. So before we go any further, I want to pause, take one slow breath in, let it out gently. You're not behind, you're right where you need to be. The questions in this episode came from women who said, now that I see what's going on, I feel like I have to do something. So if you feel that sense of urgency, let's slow down together here. Okay. Question number one, all these questions have been summarized. Why do I suddenly feel pressure to make a decision? Well, the answer is because clarity removes illusion, and illusion often provided emotional protection. So when you stop minimizing, your nervous system thinks, we need to act now. But urgency doesn't always mean readiness. Sometimes it means destabilization. So keep in mind that clarity is the beginning, not the command to move. So if you are feeling rushed internally, let's pause. Pressure is not the same as wisdom. Now, one listener wrote, I finally see it, and now I'm scared as a result. And here's question 2. Is it normal to feel anxious about gaining clarity? Absolutely. Seeing reality clearly can temporarily increase anxiety because old coping strategies fall away, certainty dissolves, the future feels unidentified. So anxiety here isn't danger, though. It's a transition. Your nervous system is recalibrating. Some of you NT wives married to an autistic husband, you're finally realizing, wow, I think I grossly underestimated the severity of this disorder. He functions fine everywhere else, except with me. That's because I'm socially and emotionally complicated, just like I was built. But he can't keep up with me because he's low in the social and emotional intelligence department. That reality breaks through denial, and now that you're no longer in denial, it's like, whoa, is this how my life is going to go? Is my marriage just going to be this way for the next 20, 30, 40 years? So if uncertainty feels uncomfortable, let's pause. Discomfort doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. Okay? Now, several women asked this next question with a sense of urgency. Shouldn't I act now that I know the truth? Not necessarily. Clarity without stabilization can lead to reactive decisions, regret, overconnection, emotional collapse. So bear in mind that clarity needs containment before action. Think of clarity as light. Too much too fast without grounding can blind rather than guide. So if you feel the urge to fix or flee, let's pause. Stillness can be a form of strength. One listener asked, what if staying makes me complicit? Okay, and here's a few questions based on that. Am I betraying myself if I don't change things immediately? I would say the answer is no. Self-betrayal is abandoning your inner experience, not pacing yourself. You can honor your truth without forcing immediate change. Listening is not the same as deciding. Acknowledging is not the same as endorsing. So if guilt shows up here, let's pause. You're allowed to move at a human pace. Okay? Now, many women ask this next question quietly. What does clarity actually look like? Okay, clarity is not certainty. Clarity is seeing patterns without excusing them, naming impact without dramatizing it, trusting your internal signals, understanding limits, yours and your ASD spouse's. Clarity is calm recognition, not emotional flooding. Now, if calm feels unfamiliar, let's pause. Okay? Calm doesn't mean numb, it just means settled. Now, one listener wrote in, I'm afraid if I don't act, I'll get stuck. Okay? And here's a question based on that concept. And again, all these questions have been summarized. What if I lose momentum if I slow down? Well, just know that momentum driven by fear isn't sustainable. Slowing down allows nervous system regulation, thoughtful support seeking, accurate self-assessment. You're not losing momentum, you're building capacity. Now, if slowing down feels counterintuitive, let's pause again. Your body may need stabilization before any kind of strategy, okay? Now, several women ask this next question with confusion. How do I know when I'm ready for change? Okay, the answer is readiness often shows up as less urgency, more internal steadiness, clearer boundaries, reduced self-doubt, increased self-trust. So readiness feels grounded, not frantic. Now, if you're not there yet, that's okay. Let's pause. Not being ready is information, not failure. Now, one listener asked this next question honestly. What should I focus on instead of deciding? Okay, how about let's focus on emotional safety and internal stabilization and external support and reducing self-sabotage and building clarity slowly. Okay, decision-making can come later. Self-connection comes first. Now, if this feels relieving, just notice that. Relief is a compass, okay? Now, one final question came up again and again. What if I never feel sure? Well, let me tell you this. Certainty is overrated. Most life-changing decisions are made with enough clarity, enough self-trust, enough support. You don't need 100% certainty, but you do need self-alignment. Now, if certainty has felt like an impossible standard, let's pause again. You don't need perfection to move forward. Question 10. What does respecting myself look like now? Okay. Well, right now, self-respect might look like not rushing yourself, not explaining your pain to skeptics, not forcing optimism, not demanding answers from yourself. Self-respect often begins with restraint, not action. Now, if clarity has shaken your world, in other words, I really see what I'm up against now and it's scary. This is not the marriage I signed up for. Just know that you are not late, you are not weak, you're not avoiding, you are integrating truth into your life. Now, in the next episode, we're going to talk about how to protect yourself emotionally without ultimatums, threats, or disappearing. Okay? Now, before we close, I've got some reflection questions for you. Where do I feel pressure to decide before I feel ready? What emotions arise when I imagine slowing down? What helps my nervous system feel steadier right now? What feels clearer since listening to this podcast? And what would respecting my own pace look like today? Okay? You don't need answers yet. Stability comes before strategy. Now, if this resonated, please like, subscribe, and comment. I want to hear your story. I want you to share your experience. I read and respond to all comments. Thank you. God bless, and I'll see you in the next podcast. If you are a neurotypical wife in a marriage with an ASD level 1 husband, and you feel like you're suffering from Cassandra syndrome, then there's going to be a link below this video in the description area and also pinned in the comment section that will take you to my Cassandra Syndrome recovery group. We meet 1 hour a week for 4 weeks. I hope to see you in that group.